Peyton Manning and the Broncos had a huge fourth quarter comeback against the Chargers on Monday night. They scored 21 points in the final frame. Peyton threw for over 300 yards and 3 TDs. Aaron Rodgers had an even better game. He had 6 touchdown passes against Houston. Green Bay was able to stop the Texans' run and gave Houston their first L of the season. Minnesota lost a tough one on the road versus Washington. RG3 was nuts, ran for 138 yards, threw for 182. Not much you can do there when a quarterback's playing like that. San Fran was terrible against the Giants. Alex Smith, awful. 3 interceptions, 2 to Antoine Royal, that is. So San Fran looked, like they were 2 or 3 years ago. Couldn't do anything on offense. Their D was tired because they're on the field so much. There were so many 3-and-outs and all the turnovers. So San Fran offense, you got to step it up. Alex Smith might be getting the hook. The Browns picked up their first W on the season with a win over the Bungles. Cincinnati just is inconsistent this year. They look good one week, the next week they're junk. This week they were junk. They fall to 3-3. The Bucks beat KC. Josh Freeman threw for 328 yards and 3 TDs in the 38-10 win. And the Titans knock off the Steelers in Thursday Night Football. Who would have guessed? Rob Ronis hit a 40-yard field goal with under a minute to go, and the Tennessee defense held on. Chris Johnson ran for 91 yards, so he's getting better as the season goes along. And the Steelers are in trouble in that division and in the AFC. So Brady and the Pats simply choked against Seattle. Going into the fourth quarter, Brady and the Pats simply choked against Seattle. Going into the fourth quarter, they had the lead. Everything was looking good, and then their secondary fell apart. Russell Wilson was a beast. Chucked for 3 touchdowns in the game, 293 yards, as Seattle pulls out the 1-point win. New England looked amateur. The Bills pulled off an ugly win versus Arizona in OT. The Cards have lost 2 straight, and Kevin Kolb went out with injury, so not good in Arizona. Michael Vick threw for 2 interceptions as Detroit beat Philly. The Lions' Jason Hanson kicked a 45-yard field goal for the OT win, and both teams look shaky at best. Poor game management led to another Dallas loss. Their offense had enough time to throw one more play, do something to get their kicker closer, better field goal range. Instead they say, no, go ahead, kick the 51-yarder. Dan Bailey went up, tried his best, shanked it left. The Ravens win, they're 5-1. The Jets smashed the Colts 35-9. Sean Green ran for 161 yards and 3 TDs, and Atlanta stayed undefeated with a 3-point win over Oakland. Now, the Rams lost to Miami. Miami is still in the hunt for that division. The AFC East is wide open. Bills, Jets, New England, and Miami are all at 3-3, so it's anybody's game at this point. Ryan Tannehill threw for 185 yards and 2 TDs in the W.